On Tubi TV, and I'm going to keep this one short. I watched Death Race 2000. I think this was a bad transfer. I'm finding out that I can't really trust Tubi TV for a lot of stuff. Older films seem to have some kind of bad transfer. A few are given the Blu-ray treatment, maybe not quite in 1080p, but respectable enough to watch. This one, not so much, because I've seen better looking stills on the web. So, this is from, I think, 1975, a Roger Corman production, but his name's all over the box or the poster, so you think that he made this movie. Stars, is it David Carradine? Yeah, I think it's David Carradine. He's spends a lot of time under a mask here. He's playing this guy Frankenstein in the future. There's this entertainment. This movie kind of is a bit of a forerunner to this idea of violent entertainment in films. You know, maybe Rollerball might have been before this, with a better budget and shit. But you know, Rollerball wanted to take itself more seriously, wanted to be the drama, and this is very camp. There's some satire. It feels very Lloyd Kaufman-like, because there's just naked chicks left, right, and center. If there's a chick in this movie, it's not an old lady. You're seeing her boobs. Well, this guy Frankenstein, he's the reigning champion of the death race. It's the year 2000. He's talking about all these injuries he got in the 90s. They say he's had his hand replaced so he can shift super fast, because I guess they don't have automatic transmissions in the future. The cars look dreadful. Everybody he races against has some kind of scheme going for him. There's like this Nazi chick, I think her name was Myra or Myrtle. There's some chick who just wants a bone all the time. Then you got this guy, he's like a mobster, and it's Sylvester Stallone. And Stallone is like, I guess he's the only survivor from last season. It kind of makes you wonder where all these other people showed up. What's it really in for them, right? Well, as the race starts, you start to understand how these rules go. They run over people, and the people they take out, there's like a point system with the race across the country, from like New York to LA kind of thing, but you know, it's not a good race. There's nothing memorable whatsoever about the racing dynamics. They just shut down some highways temporarily and sped by at low speed, sped up the film, right? But they'll comically hit people. There'll be like little traps. A guy will set up like a hole in a wall and have some lay drive through it, just about, instead of crashing. You know, they don't like paint. They don't go that old of a route, like paint the wall black. Oh, hey, the road goes this way. You know, they let her off a cliff because she's completely stupid. You have to be even dumber, because I could almost see somebody falling for the hole trick from Wile E. Coyote, right? But really off a cliff like this. And like in between these checkpoints, they have like a little break. Frankenstein has to hook up with whoever his navigator is. They always have like a opposite sex navigator they hook up with. Everybody's like doing like some kind of open sauna type thing. The girls are walking around with their boobs out, and they've being interviewed by everybody in the news. And the first person to get killed, his wife is on TV, and she's so proud and happy. It's so weird, but I can kind of get the vibe. I can kind of understand what they're going for here, and I think in some ways it succeeds. And as satire goes, you know, maybe with a better production, and that might be why they keep trying to redo this. There was a recent remake like last year that kept the campy vibe. You have the Jason Statham more serious actioneer approach with like prison reform. But Frankenstein, his face isn't really that messed up, and as he takes off parts of his uniform to hook up with the rather hot, I think her name's Simone Griffeth, who plays his navigator, he learns that she's like a spy for the counter-culture anti-establishment group, right? He learns that she's with them. She's like the granddaughter of the woman leading the resistance. But he doesn't kill her. He has a lot of chances to, but he saves her and stuff. They're hooking up. People are getting bit off, right? All the people he's racing against are getting killed. Eventually, it's just him and Stallone. Stallone's car and his chick get blown up. And, you know, Stallone's a nobody here, so it's not like this is his vehicle, right? David Carradine's the bigger star, believe it or not, even though he ends up with a lot of cheap shit that he ends up making for like the rest of his career. Honestly, save for Kung Fu, the legend continues, or the journey continues, whatever they called it. And Kill Bill, like really. You know, he's like Mr. Direct-to-Video B-movie in the 80s and shit. Well, David Carradine has this surprise. His hand actually has a grenade in it, and when he gets to shake the hand with the president, he's going to kill him. He's going to take himself out too. Well, the woman he loves doesn't really like this idea, throws his hand out, and they've got a different plan. She puts on all of his gear because everybody has this idea that he's scarred up in the face. He really just wears like a mask that looks like it is, like he's horrific. She goes up to the president, and there's a shot at the president, but she gets hit, but I guess she's okay or something. And Frankenstein gets in his car and crashes, and runs over the president, and everybody seems to be okay with that. And I guess if you kill the president, now you're the new president? Or is he just the only guy worth electing? Now he's got a new first lady. I guess they just had a wedding or some shit. And they're like Minister of Defense or is like her grandma. And it's just a weird ass zany movie. And if you understand that going into it, I think you can be down with this. You know, you're mostly really just looking for the glimpse of a younger Stallone. And you may or may not be disappointed with that. You know, as you delve deeper into history here, the mystique goes away, doesn't it? So if you thought, hey, let's start with Stallone as Rocky, maybe that's a place you really need to keep him in your mind, right? I give Death Race 2000 1.5 out of 4 stars.